Oh, shit. That was a good way to end that video, right? You know, I think about this a lot. Like, what if I were a completely different person? What if I were the type of person that could handle being around people for longer than an hour, you know? I do not know how people do it. And it's like an attachment thing. It's like, okay, now we're like resigned to each other. Like we're stuck. We're stuck. Did I tell you guys this? There's like women at my church that like say that they don't know how or why they're married. I mean, they're just waiting. They're waiting for their husbands to die so they can be alone again. Man, why would you do that to yourself? You see, I just knew that, like when I was a kid, I knew that that's how I felt about marriage, and that's how I felt about, I don't know, just like having to be around people. So it's like I'm really lucky for realizing that, because I feel like a lot of women, and I think men do this too, or like maybe they fall in love with somebody and they want to believe it'll work out, and they want to believe they'll stay in love forever, and maybe they have kids, and I mean, it's a sacrifice that you make, you know? It's just like, I realize how much of a sacrifice that is. I think that's why I'm so hard on people that do that. And it's like, that's why I say that people aren't conscious, because they don't know what marriage is supposed to be, and they don't know what parenting is supposed to be. And like, you have to make a major fucking sacrifice, you know? Total lifestyle change. And it's crazy to me that people do that. They're like, they have sex and they're like not conscious of like what that entails, you know? And that's fucked up. And then it's like they're in some terrible relationship with somebody, and now they have like these little versions of themselves, and it's just such a vicious cycle, you know? And it's like, if we're totally honest about that, if we're totally honest about like what this is for most people, it's like you're called a cynic, you know? Like if I were to say, yeah, we really shouldn't be doing that unless we're really serious about it, people think that I'm just some bitter, I'm just some bitter, barren woman, and nah, I would be really bitter if I had a husband. Right? So, just saying, it would be so much worse. Things could always be worse. You could be married, okay? Now, if you're really in love, I'm happy for you. If you love the one you're with, so much so that you're willing to put up with all their shit, then I'm happy for you, for real. That's fantastic. But don't feel sorry for me, 'cause I don't wanna be in your situation. Everybody's got something different going on. Maybe it's a similar thing to what other people got going on. Pretty sure my thing is way different from what everybody else has got going on. But that's mainly because I don't have a smartphone. So my life doesn't revolve around a government tracking device that's constantly manipulating me. But the phones have proven that people don't really enjoy each each other's company very much. So whenever I have actual conversations with people, I can tell they're really missing that, because they don't get much of that from all their robot zombie friends, you know, that aren't their real friends. Nobody knows what that is anymore. Same with family. Don't get me started on this country. Everything's such a joke. And I think just being an outsider, you can really see the bigger picture a lot clearer than everyone else, because they're too much a part of it. And when you're in it, it's kind of like addiction. Like when you're in the middle of an addiction, you can't like see how bad it is. You know? Well, I think that for a lot of people, it's not just this addiction to the phones and the internet. It's this addiction to just distractions and escape and just the whole idea of what reality is. This is like the craziest time right now, because it's just like I always said that like mentally ill people were a lot more aware of what was going on. I mean, well, a specific type of mental illness. Like, you'd have to be aware of yourself. But it's like, it's so easy to make people crazy in this country, because there's so many ways to be crazy here. So many different things, so many things in our products and our culture that, like, manipulate us. I'm gonna change the sound. Feelings about the TV. It totally wrecked me. When I was younger, my parents had the devil in our household. They didn't know it because they're not religious like I am. Now, of course, back then, I didn't recognize the fact that I was being misled. But I still acknowledge certain facts about the place where I lived. Pretty much everyone was full of shit. I've never not known that. But there are always layers upon layers upon layers that you're missing. You won't get until later, but it's all in due time. And I think for a lot of these people, they just can't accept it. It's easier to keep waking up and being told what to think and where to go and how to feel about everything. like I said, I just feel sorry for them. I wish there was something I could do to help steer them in the right direction, but they're just too brainwashed.